Hi, everyone. I am wanting to share with you some market insights of Northeast Florida. And I'm actually going to be going into super hyper local neighborhoods within Northeast Florida. This week, I want to talk about Ortega Forest. And the reason why is it's happening right now. I listed a property about a week ago, and within 24 hours, we had, over asking and that we're under contract. Sellers are very happy and the buyers are very happy. But the reason why it's so important to go over market insights for specific neighborhoods is because as a real estate advisor, you need to be giving the true numbers for that area. And as a consumer, you need to know what's actually happening in that area. If you're working with an agent and they tell you, I'm going to get you the best deal and I'm going to negotiate and I'm going to, get you under asking, um, they could be setting up false expectations for you. And even though we want to get you the best deal, absolutely, we have to be realistic within this market with certain neighborhoods. So I'm going to be going over Ortega Forest, and I'm going to show you right now. I have the filters for Riverside, Avondale, and specifically Ortega Forest. I like to go over monthly. If you've seen some of my other videos, I do monthly trends versus weekly because with weekly you just see wild swings of the numbers and the data is so much smaller. The data pool is so much smaller. So when you have monthly, it's just easier to go over what that looks like. So of course, we're going to start with sales price. There's a few things that I think are really important. I'm just going to go through what are options just so you can see. We have sales price, closed sales, sold price per square foot, percentage of list price received, days on market, sold dollar volume, active inventory, how many months of supply of inventory, new listings. You can see that it goes on and on and on. And you can go over all of this as a consumer. I'd be happy to go over all of it with you, but I like to touch on 4 or 5 and I'll go over what that is. So of course, sales price, we want to know what the median sales price is. And right now in Ortega Forest, it's around 650, right? Closed sales. This is really important for multiple reasons. We want to know how many homes actually closed in the specific area last month. So you could have X amount of new listings, right? Or active listings, and then you can have closed sales. Those don't automatically correlate with each other. So keep an eye on that and just remember that. So closed sales, there were 3 that happened in the Ortega Forest last month. Okay. Sold price per square foot. This is always important. And, just knowing the numbers behind it, you want to know what the median sold price per square foot is in Ortega Forest versus Atlantic Beach, Jack's Beach. When you're looking at this number, the numbers can have a wide range, east of A1A versus west of A1A. So this is always a really great number to have. And essentially, you're just taking this number and you're multiplying it by the square footage of the home. Percentage of list price received. So this is really important because, if a home is listed for, $400,000 or $500,000, and you're seeing that most of the houses are getting 105% of list price received, that right there, as the consumer, okay, if I go in and offer, if the house is listed at 450 and if I go in and offer 425, I'm probably not going to win this offer because the data is showing us right here that in this area, they're getting 105%. So this is a great number to have. And again, as your real estate advisor, we will always fight to make sure that we are, not having you put in offers that are unreasonable, but we also have to be realistic with what the market is showing us. And in this area, 105% is the percentage of list price received. Days on market. This is a really great one. And this fluctuates as well. Just as an example, when I first met with these sellers back in April, the median days on market was around 59. So just in a few months from me speaking with them and then listing it, it already went up a little bit. So this is just a good number to know because if you are, a buyer and you're looking in this specific area and you see a house that's been on the market for, 300 days or 120 days, you can do a little bit more due diligence, or have your advisor, your real estate advisor, do the due diligence of, why has this house been on the market for so much longer? Or this house has only been on the market for, 3 days, 5 days. So it just gives you a little bit more insight of what's been happening with that particular property. Um, Another one, so I love to go over this because sometimes people don't really understand the difference. But there's active inventory and then there is new listings. So new listings are new listings that hit the market right within that month. Active inventory is all of those new listings plus any house that's been sitting on the market. And the reason why I don't really like to go off of active inventory is because a lot of builders will list homes and they'll have a large accumulative days on market. So I really just like to look at new listings, especially as a buyer, right? If we're looking for buyers, we want to know what's hitting the market immediately. And then as a seller, you want to know what's your competition if you're looking to list. So that's always a great one. Um, Going over month supply of inventory. So this is another question or just a topic that I get asked a lot is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? And there's a rule of thumb where essentially a balanced market is around 6 months. Okay, so that's balanced for a buyer and a seller. Anything above 6 months is considered a buyer's market, and then anything less is considered a seller's market. And in this particular area, Ortega Forest, we are right around 2 months. Okay. So again, this is an example where, I listed the home and we had, 25 to 30 showings, a multiple offer situation. So, not every neighborhood or region is going to be that, but that's why it's so important to make sure that you know the numbers for wherever you're looking as a buyer or if you're looking to sell. These numbers matter. I cannot stress that enough. And lastly, just one of the topics that's always around is distress listings. We talk about this a lot. People are talking about the market crashing, and one of the key indicators is distress listings. Well, something just came out recently in Bloomberg saying that distress listings had gone up 100%. Well, that's very accurate if it goes from like 1 to 2, right? That's 100%. In this area, you can see that there is a 0% of distress listings. But when you are seeing distress listings, they're more noticeable right now because it's not really happening. But just rule of thumb, you can always keep an eye out for that. And especially if you're an investor or if you're looking to buy an investment property, distress listings are always a way to go. But in this area, it's definitely low. And I think that's about it, just in terms of what I believe is the most important, kind of the Cliff Notes version of what's most important of if you are a seller or a buyer. So again, we have our data, we have our market insights. Why is this important if you're a seller? You want to know who's your competition, what's the days on market, what are we looking at, what's a real life scenario from signing the listing paperwork to getting under contract to closing. What's the list price received? What's that percentage look like? So you want to know as the seller all of your possible scenarios of what we're looking to do, right? And then as a buyer, you absolutely want to know going into whatever area you're looking at, you want to have the expectation of, okay, if most of the homes are selling at 105% of list price, then I'm probably going to have to come in with a really strong offer. So again, it's just setting the right expectation. And this is just a tool that we use just to help guide you. And I love using it with all of my clients. And if you have any questions at all, you can absolutely reach out to me. And I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next week.